Hello everybody, my name is Roger and I'm with a company called Solid Earth. I'm part of the team that built the new Pensacola MLS.com website powered by what we call our Spring platform. Solid Earth has had over 20 years of software and MLS portal experience, and we're really honored to have been selected to update the Pensacola MLS.com site and share the benefits of that update with you all. The purpose of this video is really to cover usage functionality from a consumer perspective, and then we'll cover the agent professional login side and get into what functionality you can see when you register and log in to the site as a professional. The consumer portion of this video is considered to be more of a brief overview, so we won't cover every bit of functionality on the site since most of it is designed to be self-explanatory as a consumer portal, but we will focus in on some of the more important and common usages that we'd like you to be familiar with. And one final point that I'd like to make is if you are a broker or office manager, we will have another video that will cover office specific settings that you will have access to, so make sure to check that video out. With all that said, let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start with the home page. Here you'll notice the primary focus, of course, is the search bar. The search bar is designed to accept location-based criteria such as city, zip, school district, subdivision, street address. You can also search for MLS number. To start searching, you just need to type in the first few letters. The search that you're looking for. So in this instance, I'm going to select City of Pensacola. Now, from this point, you could go ahead and run your search by clicking on the magnifying glass, but you do have the option to apply some more common filters by selecting the advanced search option here. So you can filter it by class, price, type. You can do county and city here if you don't do it in the search bar. And beds and baths, so if we want to add a price limit of 500,000, we can select it here, and that will set the max price to 500,000. And you can also save the search. You'll need to be logged in to save the search, which we'll get into a little bit later here. You can clear your criteria or run the search, which is the update search button. Before we do that, you'll also notice that we have a latest listings widget here on the home page as well. This is just the newest listings as they're added to the MLS, so it kind of gives folks a nice way to see the freshest listings out of the MLS. So you can just kind of click through these and see really just the newest listings as they've been added. So let's go ahead and run the search. Alright, so after running our search, you can see that we've ended up on the search results screen. Here you can see at the top here the number of results that our search got us. So it got us 600 results. Next to that 600 results number, you also have the option to change the view that you're on. We're currently on the gallery view. There's a map view and a table view, as well as the there's another drop down here to change the sort order. This is currently under newest listings, which you have the option to change it from highest price to lowest price, highest square footage to lowest square footage. If you wanted to change the sort order, you can also, here at the top, you can see the 1, 2, 3. This is how you change the page that you're on. There is, of course, a save search button, which will require a login. The save button down here requires a login as well. We'll go through this in kind of the logged in functionality demo, but that's just how you can do that. So on the right side, you'll also notice that the advanced search has quite a bit more than the advanced search on the landing page. There's a few other options here, such as acreage, date listed, short sale, new construction, HOA fee, etc., etc. So you can update your search over here after updating your criteria just to refresh your search. We'll go ahead and show the map view. So by clicking on gallery view, you'll get a drop down. This may not show on my recording software, but if you click on it, you'll get a little drop down and you can change to what's called the map view. So that'll take your search criteria or the search that you ran and kind of display it on the map. These blue dots are what we call clusters. So when you click on one, it will zoom you into that area and display the points on the map. So here you can see those points as they've been loaded on the map. So clicking on one will bring up a tooltip for you, so you can get an idea of you can go through the photos, you can save it again. It's got kind of the summary criteria that you would be interested in. So that's it for search results, really. Again, that's just your kind of display view for seeing your the results of your search query. So now we will show you what a listing details page looks like and go over that functionality. Alright, so now we're on our listing details page, and again, a user can get to a listing details page. Normally they'll get to it from search results, either on the gallery or map view. When they click on a property that they're interested in from those views, it will bring them to our listing details page here, where they can get a lot more information about the listing. So starting at the top, of course, we have the price information, the address, and of course what consumers are interested in, photos for the property that they can click through and look at the listing. They also have the ability here in the upper right hand corner to go full screen and maximize the photo gallery if they decide to do that. There's also, of course, the Save to Collection button, which we'll get into a little bit later. And then the other information that you would expect to see on this kind of page, the description about the property, and really just all the information about the listing, the property details, structural information, characteristics, HOA, and that kind of stuff. So we'll go back up to the top here. In the upper right hand corner, you'll also see that the agent and office information is prominently displayed. And then really the thing you as agents are probably going to be most interested in, the Contact Me form. When a consumer fills this out, a lead gets generated for this property. Depending on how your office is set up to manage leads and lead routing, normally you'll get an email that will have all the information that's filled out, and it'll just go straight to your inbox, so you won't need to do anything with it. If your office happens to be using the lead pool system, then you'll get an email saying, hey, you've got a lead, go ahead and log in and claim it, and you'll just need to log into the site and claim it, and you'll get the information about that lead. We'll get into that a little bit later, but that's just how a lead is generated on the site for a property. And then, of course, we have the share listing at the bottom here, so a consumer can just put in a friend's email and email this list, and they just basically get a email that says, hey, check out this listing, and it has a link back to the property on the site for them to share this listing. The other page I wanted to show was what we call the agent profile page. We have agent profile pages and office profile pages. They can either be navigated to from this page or through the Find an Agent search in the navigation bar. I'm just going to click on this agent's picture and name, and it will take me to the agent profile page for this user. So here you'll notice that it just has the agent's information, the phone number if someone wishes to call, or their direct email address. And we also at the bottom show the active listings that may be available under the agent. And so this is kind of a good way to see the what properties the agent has listed. The main thing that I did want to show on this page is what's called the Work with Agent functionality. So this is a way, if you have a consumer that you're working with and you know that they want to work with you directly, you can direct them to this feature where they can click on Work with an Agent. When a consumer clicks on Work with an Agent and goes through this workflow, what will happen is all leads, any requests for information that they fill out on property details pages, will be redirected to you, their preferred agent. So if you have someone that you know really wants to work with you specifically, that's a great way to have them kind of integrated with you and allow them to work with you and be assisted by you. So earlier we talked about the search results page here and two pieces of functionality that require you to be logged into the site. So in this screen I have gone ahead and registered as a consumer by clicking on sign in and register and going through that process. So I've created an account called Joe Consumer here. And so Joe has run a search for City of Pensacola listings below 500,000. And he would like to save that search. So to save that search, all you do is click on Save Search here, and that will pop up a screen on the search results screen to name the search. By default, it shows the criteria that you're looking for. Generally, it's a good idea just to clear this out, so we'll call it listings under 500K, and we'll just click on Save. Now that is saved for us. So here we have our filters tab, but we also have a save search tab. If we click on that saved button here, then we can see listings under 500K and we can subscribe to it. So we have the ability to follow price changes on listings. So if I click subscribe here, when I subscribe, I'll get a daily email if any listings in my criteria or in my save search have a price change. So that's a great way for users to follow listings that they're interested in. Additionally, we have these little save buttons here on listings that they're on the save search page or on the listing details page where it actually says save to a collection. Clicking this little save button here will save a listing to a collection. So if I click on one, let's say I'm interested on this listing. So when I click save, the first thing if I don't have one already is I have to create a collection. A collection is like a button of miscellaneous listings that aren't necessarily tied by any commonality like a save search. So you can just kind of throw anything into this collection bucket that you might be interested in. So I'm just going to call it my faves, short for favorites, and click create. So now I have a new listing here called my faves, and it has my listing in it already, so I don't have to click on it. If I click it, it removes the listing. So I'm just going to click on my or leave it selected with my one listing and save selection. And now it says that my listing has been saved to my collection. So if I scroll down here and I might want this listing as well, I can just click on save and I can set it to go into this collection as well. And now I have two listings in my collection. Now to view the listings under the my Joe Consumer menu here where I'm logged in, I can click on collections to go to the collections page, and in addition it has my collections and my saved searches. So you can see the saved search that I created earlier. I can click on this to run it again and recall the search. And we have our two collections here. Listing viewed history is one that we just create by default, so it'll show listings that you've looked at when you've logged in, so it just remembers the listings that you've viewed recently. If I click on my faves to view my favorites collection, what it does is it loads a map at the top that shows where these listings are saved, and it loads the two listings here. So it's just a quick way to view your favorites listings in that collection bucket. And we also have one little additional piece of functionality that's called compare. So if you have a lot of listings in here and you're interested in just a quick way to view the primary criteria, you can select them and click on compare, and it'll show you the beds, baths, and the price, and you can scroll horizontally to take a look at the listings in kind of a side-by-side view, which is a nice way to see it information at a glance. Okay, so finally we're going to close out the video showing the agent side of the site and how to register as an agent and what you can see when you register on the site. So on the home page, and normally just about anywhere on the page, you'll see this sign in or register if you're not logged into the site. So we're just going to click that here and we'll get a pop-up that will allow us either to sign in if we've already registered or go through the new user process. Both consumers and professionals will go through the same process. The one important difference is as a real estate professional, if you have an account in the MLS, you'll need to log in or register rather with your agent ID. So in this field, you'll enter your agent ID, your first and last name, and the email that you're using in the MLS. That's how we associate your account to your MLS user and give you the proper permissions. Once you fill that out and hit register, you'll get an email to finalize the process. We're going to ask you to set your password, your preferred password, and that's all you'll have to do. So once you've done that, here where I've already logged in this tab, you'll see that I'm logged in. It's pulling my photo from the MLS, so if you have a photo in the MLS, it will automatically pull that as well. And in the drop down menu here, you'll see an option called dashboard. So if everything connected properly, you'll see this dashboard option. Consumers do not have this dashboard. So when we click on dashboard, what the default page is called My Listing Analytics. So if you have any active listings in the system, we're going to show you the metrics for your listings that we have available. Right now, the three things that we're showing, and we'll likely add more in the future, but the three we have right now are the number of times the listing has appeared in a search result, the property details page views. This is just when the listing details page has been viewed, and the total number of leads. What is recognized as a lead is when someone fills out that request for information form on the listing details page. That will cause this number to increment in your analytics. So the two other options here are account and leads. So for account, really there's not a lot that you'll have to worry about here. This is just the listing or your contact information that we're automatically pulling from the MLS. So this just shows the information that we're using for you from the MLS. Under the agent profile tab here, this is where you can set an alias for your agent profile page. If you remember, by default, a while back we showed the an example of an agent profile, and the URL structure that everyone uses for their agent profile is pensacolamls.com/profile/agent ID. But if you wanted another URL instead of using your agent ID and saying something like homes for sale, which is an example of one that I created here, you can do that here. So you just enter the we sell homes or we buy homes, for example, and save the alias, and you'll get another URL here that will still link to your agent profile page. The one thing that I'll note here is only one person can have this across the site, so if someone else gets it, it'll be unavailable for you to use, but that's how you can set a alias for your profile page. And finally, if I click on this leads link in the menu, that'll take us to what we call our leads management. Now, I don't have an example for the office pool settings, but we'll talk a little bit about how this works. So the broker for your office or the office manager will have the ability to choose how leads are routed for your office. By default, leads are just automatically sent to you via email, and you won't have to do anything for most cases. However, if your broker offers decides to opt into the lead pool, then when someone fills out a request for information on one of your listings, it will come to my leads pool here, and you will have a set amount of time to claim that lead to see the information for the lead. So it'll be here, and there'll be a claim lead button that you can click on to claim it. Once it's claimed, it'll show up over here. Here's an example of one that I claimed as a test. So this will show the consumer that requested information, and it has the information about the listing that was requested here. If for some reason you missed the timer, or someone else in your office missed a timer for their leads and didn't claim it, then it'll show up in the office leads pool, where anyone within the office that has permissions could claim that lead. So like I said, by default, office leads pool is not enabled. So if your brokerage does not opt into that setting, then your lead will just automatically be sent to you via email. It won't say you need to go log in to claim this lead. You'll just get all the information in your email, and it'll also show up here just automatically. Prospect, again, if someone decides to make you their preferred agent from clicking on that link on the agent profile page, then they'll show up here, and you can see the folks that have opted to make you their preferred agent. So they'll show up here. Archived leads is just if we notice that a lead has been sitting in the lead pool or the office lead pool for an extended amount of time, it will go to the archive leads section. A lot of times people, if they realize it's just maybe it's someone that submitted an extra lead, they may not decide to claim it or something, and it just kind of sits there. So after about 60 days, we'll just move it to an archive leads section and let you know that it's been moved over here. So that's really all that's for. We just don't want to delete it, so we move it to an archive section so you can still see it there should you need it at some point later. That's really it for the lead section, and all you'll need to know to log into the site as an agent. Once again, we thank you for your time, and we look forward to your feedback about the site. Thank you.